Welcome to the Free Woman Podcast, a space for all women who are ready to break free of the inauthentic life. Welcome, free women.
Hello. It's Monday.
Yeah, well, it's not Monday for you.
It's going to be another day, but Monday for us.
Yeah, why did we decide to start filming this on Monday?
I don't know if that was very smart of us.
Yeah, this morning I had to wake up a little early and run to the doctor's office, and so it really felt like a Monday. I'm like, yeah, this is Monday.
Yeah, same here. I had to wake up early. I mean, I do wake up every other week early to drive my kids to school, but this morning I don't have my kids yet, so I had to wake up at 6:45 to go to an appointment. And I was like, what's going on? Why is my alarm going off? Plus, it's raining today, so it's that feeling of like, I want to stay in bed.
It's raining. There's a whole bunch on the to-do list, and it just feels like a Monday. I don't know if you guys ever have that feeling with Monday, but it's like, okay, the whole week is ahead of me.
Yeah.
And it feels kind of heavy.
It can feel overwhelming. Well, that's when I tell myself, okay, let's just focus on today and what I have to do right now rather than like thinking about all the things I have to do.
Yeah, so how are you doing, free woman? How is life going for you?
Yeah, how is life? I mean, the last couple times we've recorded, the first time we were both sick, and I don't even know how we did that.
And then the second time, we were just like so depressed, it was hard to even record. We're like, well, let's just talk about being depressed then, because that's what's happening today.
It felt pretty heavy last week. I mean, that kind of ebbed and flow. And then today I'm like, wow, I think I'm actually starting to feel like myself. Like I got a pep in my step and I'm excited to talk.
A little bit of hope, dare we say. A little bit of maybe something good could happen.
Fingers crossed.
Maybe it's not all doom and gloom. But yeah, I don't know. It's, sometimes it's just a lot being a human. And just this human experience here that we are all going through. I mean, I don't think anyone is trying to make it easier.
Well, it's just a lot to be a mother. And especially when your kids become older and teenagers, it's just different than when they're toddlers. I mean, you have both. You have a toddler and teenagers, so you're kind of doing all of it.
I think it's a lot to be human, even if you don't have kids right now. I think just being alive and existing and paying bills and trying to take care of your mental health and not be, homeless or hungry and maybe have relationships, maybe a friendship or like, it's just a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure with the amount of income you have versus how much of it's going out and how much food costs right now, rent, gas.
Yeah, it used
everything.
to be like when I was growing up, if you went to college, you were set. And that's what they told us. They're like, if you get that college degree, then you will be set. You will be taken care of for life. And here we are. There's a lot of people who have, 100 grand in student debt here in America, and they're trying to even find a job.
Yeah, I've had quite a few friends that I've talked to or clients that I've had, and I know a few of them that are moving back in with their family, or I have some friends that are moving in with siblings, or finding other roommates because they're like, we just can't do it on our own anymore. And I'm like, hey, I hear you right here. I'm in my friend's basement. So,
so if it's been a lot for you, I don't know where the silver lining is, but yes. Yes, being human is hard right now.
It is. I know. Every time I see my cat just sleeping on the couch or on my bed, so cute and cozy, I'm like, God, I want to be a cat in my next life.
Yeah, they figured things out. They figured things out a few centuries ago.
Yeah, they
were
did.
Like, yeah, we've got this down. I guess back in like Egyptian time period.
They're like, just be really cute and purr and, rub up against them and then you walk away when you want.
Oh, they're worshiping us. Well, okay. They're taking pictures of us. Okay.
So smart. Yeah.
This is the price of free food and lodging.
Oh, man. So.
But yeah, it's been kind of a bit of a busy morning.
It has. And we're like, well, we're going to do this today too.
Well, yeah, of course we're going to do this. I mean, if we were in a gutter on the side of the road, we would still film.
We're still
I
gonna
hope
be
I'm not
filming.
calling anything in right now. We would still do the episode.
Don't manifest that, please. But yeah, if let's say if the kids were home because they didn't have school, we'd go in the van and record. We'd go sit in the mom-mobile and go hit record. But yeah, so it's been a busy morning. This morning I went in for, I've been doing physical therapy for my body because it's a wreck.
Because trauma will do that. Trauma will do that to your body.
It will. So my body has not been doing so well, but right.
Yeah, it's like, are we dead? Are we alive? What's going on?
It really has been confused.
The cortisol levels indicated that this was we were not gonna have to do this much longer on this earthly plane.
Yeah, the body was starting to really send out firework warnings that if we don't do something about this, we're not going to be able to move.
The sirens were going off. Alert, alert.
I still wasn't really listening. But finally...
Well, that's because when you're poor, you have to work.
And you have kids.
And you have to take care of kids. You don't get to be traumatized.
No,
it's not allowed.
It's not allowed. It's not on it's not allowed on your resume. It's not allowed on your job. You can't take time off.
Yeah, I mean, we see that all the time. People have like a major surgery and they're back in work the
Oh my
next
gosh,
day.
I know. I know someone who just had major surgery on her foot, and then I was working on her, and the message I kept getting for her was like, you need to rest and do nothing. And then next thing I know, she's like going into work.
Yeah.
And her foot is having a reaction. And I just was like, well, you need to do nothing and you need to rest. But, your job's not allowing you to do that. So what are you going to do?
I have a friend who had a baby Saturday or Friday night, Saturday. Was back in work on Monday.
That is insane.
And she is especially insane. But, she works in a pretty misogynistic environment. And if she took her maternity leave, they wouldn't have, it would have been that kind of like...
She would lose her spot.
Yeah.
That she worked so hard for.
They'd be like, she's just going to be like not taking this job as seriously as the men are.
And you're kind of treated as if you're weak. I'm like, God, I'd like to see a man push a baby.
No, I'd like to see a man be 9 months pregnant.
Oh.
Unable to sleep, unable to eat because of your heartburn. You can't poop, you're gassy.
You're throwing up, you can't move, you can't stand.
You have nerve pain shooting down your leg.
God, you can't even tie your own shoelace or wipe your own butt
when you fit in a car. Yeah.
I know, that would be great. I actually really would love to watch that.
These men that struggle to even have a head cold, I would love to see them try to be 9 months pregnant.
I know, I remember my ex complaining about how much I hurt his shoulders because I was leaning on them when I was in labor with our second child, my son, and he just was like, man, you were really making my shoulders hurt.
I mean,
and
have you thought about what he went through?
Oh, I know.
And how hard that was for him?
I was being kind of selfish.
Yeah, you do sound kind of self-centered.
It was kind of about me at that moment. I'm sorry. How wrong of me. And that's not even the reason why we got divorced.
Though, like, in defense of men, my husband during my last labor was amazing. I think the midwives were a little bit like...
In awe?
Yeah, they're like, why are we even here?
I mean, I was in awe. I was making little lists in my head. I'm like, Andy has to be like this. The future man.
Like, men can do this? What? Yeah. All this time, they told us that it's not physically possible, psychologically possible for them. And then you have one just show up and do it, and you're like, wait a second.
I had a friend that was in labor and she told me her husband's like, well, I gotta go. I'm gonna go get a beer.
Yeah, my ex-husband slept through through my labor. Like pretty much all three of them.
Well, don't you know it's really long and they get tired?
Yeah, and then he catches the baby, and that's the
Everybody's
that's
like, bravo!
and that becomes
bravo.
our labor story.
I know,
is he
bravo.
caught the baby? Oh,
Wow,
I
he's
know.
a hero.
I'm like, oh, congratulations!
Such a good dad. Wow, anyway.
But anyway, so this leads to
So going back to my appointment this morning.
the wreck of a shape that your body's in.
Yeah,
from
so-
the stress and the babies and life.
And then I did massage therapy for 20 years, so that really took a toll on my
I really had no idea until I met you how hard massage therapy is on people's bodies.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, and it makes sense.
Yeah, my friend,
Especially deep tissue massage like you do.
yeah, my friends that are, I have a couple friends that are also massage therapists, and we always joke that massage therapists have to really love what they're doing, otherwise they wouldn't do this work. And it was true. I really loved working on people and helping them and helping their bodies. It was I felt very fulfilled, but my body was starting to not. It was starting to scream at me, so I had to stop. Basically because my left arm was starting to, well, I developed tendonitis in my bicep.
And carpal tunnel.
Carpal tunnel, my spine also was a wreck, so I couldn't sleep because of the pain.
You were
but-
basically like hobbling into your massage room to then treat someone else
Yeah, yes, basically.
with your broken body.
I was treating my body so that way I could still work on people, but I was like, okay, we need to stop. I'm not sleeping anymore. My
Yeah.
body's screaming at me.
Well, it was kind of getting to the point where you were going to have permanent damage
I
if
was.
you didn't stop.
Yeah, so I stopped.
So, you're in the middle of losing your home / moving into my basement.
Yes.
And then your body also starts to break. And so it's looking more and more like you also can't do the job that has been supporting you for your entire life.
Yeah, it's pretty stressful.
Yeah, to say the least.
I was pretty afraid. I was having a lot of panic attacks and emotional breakdowns.
I'm like, it really is okay, Kat. We're not going to kick you out.
Yeah, well, when you come from the background of trauma that I have, which is this fear of, well, I basically have felt like many times I'm on my own and I've raised myself and it's all on me. And I just was so afraid when I moved in. I'm like, well, I still need to figure out what I'm going to do.
We're
because-
pretending we're going to be nice and let you stay in our extra room, but really, we're just going to punish you and resent you and be mean to you. And
Well, it took me about 6 months to realize that they're not.
we'll
So-
just put a ticking clock outside your door.
Yeah, it really was. It was not only that I had to heal my body while I've been in your home, in your basement. I had to heal my mind. I never realized the blessing that was going to come with coming into your home and the depth of childhood trauma I was going to work on and heal by being in a safe place. And I still get triggered sometimes, but it's not as serious. It's almost been a year. So anyways,
You've unpacked your bag finally,
I have finally unpacked my bag.
settled in a little bit. It's okay.
I finally have accepted that I'm going to be here for a while and it's okay.
Yeah. But it's interesting because you're doing the physical therapy, and physical therapy, body work almost always goes with trauma work. And this is something that's
absolutely.
just starting to be understood in the mainstream, that when someone goes through something emotionally, mentally traumatic, their body also responds.
Absolutely. I mean, I discovered this.
We hold that tension in
Yeah.
different ways in our body, and it will show up.
Yeah, so many people I've worked on and the trauma that's in their body. I had a client I worked on, they had a frozen right shoulder, and it was because she was in a very dangerous domestic violent relationship. And once she realized she was strong enough to get out of it, when she stood up for herself, her shoulder started to heal. And
I've had so many friends who've had physical ailments and then they get divorced and that ailment goes away.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've felt grief in people's shoulders and backs. I have felt so many different things in the body, and it's been kind of cool. Like,
Mike, you should. It feels like there's almost I don't know, a pamphlet or something where you do memoirs of a massage therapist.
I should.
Or a book.
Yeah, I really
memoirs
should.
of a massage therapist. And like all of the different ways you have seen people's trauma in their body.
Yeah, and it's been really cool, the people I've seen that's healed from it, and people who have actually, I've really have loved the people that have respected my work and listened to the things I've like felt or I guess felt, but also like seen in their body, like with the muscle, the tissue, the lymphatic, everything. And I'm like, this is what I'm feeling. This is what you should do. And they listen, and I see a difference in them. It's really cool. It's really, really cool to watch. I've felt many times that I am not only a body therapist, I'm like a psychologist as well.
Well, because you can't work on someone's body without the emotions also coming up, which is sort of what happened in physical therapy for you this morning.
Yeah. So
it's like, people try to separate it because it's a clinical setting. It's, a little bit stiff, but you're doing this deep body work on someone. They're going to have emotional responses or trauma stories start coming out.
Well, and the guy that I'm working with, he's even told me like, I've had releases. I'm sure you'll have releases. And I'm like, oh, I know I will. But the first like maybe 5 sessions, I'm in my mind and in my body, I'm like, are you safe enough?
Yeah.
Are you comfortable enough to actually have the type of emotional release that I'm probably going to need to have?
Like you're just supposed to go in with some strange man and just start sobbing about rape or something. Like that's a lot.
It is a lot. And a lot of times I have found people are just so uncomfortable with the truth and like abuse, like everyday abuse that women and men too.
It's just like a normal part of life.
A normal part of life. And I'm like, no, this is what I'm dealing with right now. So this morning I've been seeing him for about, I think maybe six months. And I've gone pretty comfortable with him. I've like shared some things with him. I kind of let him know about a few things that happened with my ex and like my kids, because he has 4 kids. He loves his kids. And so we always like talk about stuff. And then today he does dry needling on me. And so that's really deep muscular work. And he's always working on the back of my head and my shoulders, because that's where I always lock up. And he's like, so is your mom and dad around here? Do you see your mom and dad?
It's like it suddenly occurred to him, like, she's never mentioned family. We should ask her about that.
And I just in my head was like, oh, haha.
Here we go.
I'm like, are you going to be comfortable with me telling you the truth? Because I just can't sugarcoat things anymore. And I was like, well, my dad died in a car accident 8 years ago. And my mother, I don't really talk to her anymore. I found that I needed to have a strong boundary with her and go no contact when I realized that she might also, my dad's a narcissist, but my mom might also be a narcissist. And he was like, oh, and I could tell he was feeling a little uncomfortable, but he is dry needling me. And I'm like, well, I'm going to talk about it, because talking about it helps the trauma for me to move, the emotions for me to move.
Yeah.
And so I just started to talk about my mother, and I'm like, yeah, she's been a trickier one for me to figure out. But once I had to go into the hospital, and I decided to have my mom take me.
Yeah, I remember that day. I was like, you really could have asked me, Kat.
Yeah, it was when I was just starting to figure my mom out and kind of pulling myself away from talking to her.
Yeah.
And part of me was, I've had this like abscess developing in my tonsil.
The thing that killed George Washington.
Yeah, that's my doctor informed me. He's like, this is pretty serious.
Like it does kill people.
It does kill people. So I was like, well, I kind of want my mom. And I think I was supposed to do that. I think I was supposed to really see her. So
it was a helpful experience.
It was a helpful experience. Awfulness. So I had my mom. So granted, I had not talked to my mom for about 3 months. It was very minimal conversations if I did talk to her. And so I asked her to come get me. And at this point, I'm like, I know I need to go to the hospital.
But when you asked her to come get you,
she said, well, let me finish my salad.
She's eating a salad, and that had to be taken care of first
Yeah.
before your life-threatening medical condition.
It was. I was just like, okay, well, let's see. She's 30 minutes away from me. So she's got to eat her salad. That's probably another 20 minutes. So it's going to take her about 15 minutes to get here. I was like, I think.
Could you imagine if it was my kid? And say I am really hungry, I need to eat that salad. I will eat that salad while I'm driving.
Yeah.
I will grab a piece of bread and run out the door. I am taking you to the ER right now.
Well, that's how I would have done it too. But
Probably would have sped a little bit too.
I know. So my mom finally arrives, and the pain. So I've been dealing with this development in my tonsil for about a week now, and I kept getting misdiagnosed at just a regular
They thought you had
doctor.
like strep or something.
Yeah, they kept going back and forth, but I was to the point where it had no jawline. It just had gotten so big and so enlarged, and I couldn't even swallow
It
yogurt.
was, you like couldn't even talk.
I couldn't. It was really. They finally diagnosed me that morning because I went back to my regular
You were having a
doctor.
hard time breathing too.
Yeah, it just gotten real. I was like, okay.
Obstructing your airway.
Yeah, I knew at this point, I was like, I cannot go another night with this. I need to go to the ER. My doctor's not responding to me because I'm like, where should I go? What should I do? Finally, I'm like, I'm going to go to the hospital. And I was afraid. The reason why I kind of pulled away, was afraid to go to the hospitals because I couldn't even open my mouth at the time. And I was just so afraid of them having to do surgery. And so I was kind of having a little bit of a fear, probably from all the trauma I had. I was just afraid of how they were going to take care of me. And also I was afraid if I could afford it.
Well, and I mean, I was just listening to something this morning about how women are not heard in medical settings. They actually have words for, whiny women. It's a WW. We got another one. And especially middle-aged menopausal women get misdiagnosed or just go undiagnosed because they're so quickly dismissed. And that's what you were experiencing.
Well, all week I had been experiencing that. So I thought they were not going to take
They were
me
just
that
like, oh,
serious.
honey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my mom picks me up. I could barely walk down the stairs because every step really hurt. And then immediately we got in the car and she just starts to dump on me all of her problems, all the things that's been going on. And I could tell.
She was so excited.
I could tell she was really needing, because I always felt like I was my mom's therapist, and I always have felt like I'm my mother's mom. And so I could just tell that she had been denied this time with me. So she's like, I just need to dump and tell you all this stuff. And I was like, I really don't feel good. And the hospital was like 5 minutes away. We get to the hospital. I'm like, I give him a piece of paper of what I have. Because I'm trying to not talk as much as possible. And they actually took me serious. They took me into the doctor, or they took me into a room, and a doctor comes in to start to talk to me about what's going on. And I tell him, and he's like, they didn't take this serious. He's like, you should have been in here a while ago. This is very serious. This can explode. And, this is like all this pus in my throat. He's like, it can go into your stomach. And then this whole time, my mom is trying to talk to me and tell me her problems, and a few times even showing me pictures. And at one moment, the doctor even rolled his eyes at her and even looked like shocked. And I'm like, I know. I'm like, and so, it takes a while to get admitted into the hospital, wait for an actual throat doctor to okay things. And I just kept saying, can I please get some type of drug for the pain? And I always compare my pain to labor pains. And I was just like, this is starting to get to the point where, you're going to have to maybe go into this pain and embrace it. And
it's going to be kind of that mental state, just like when you're in labor about to push out a baby.
So there's a few times I do that. I'm like, well, let's just go into the pain. Let's just see what it means. Let's just try to embrace the pain, because it's taking forever to get pain meds. And there was a few times I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm really done feeling the pain.
Please.
And then meanwhile, my mom's still talking to me. And I was like, at one point, I was like, maybe you can just text me, Mama.
I feel like it's one of those things where it's like, can you just kill me?
Yeah. I was like, maybe just text me what you're feeling. But I'm mumbling this.
Oh my gosh, just put me out of my misery.
Yeah.
Not only do I have to experience this physical pain, but I have to listen to this person just in my ear.
Yeah, at one point,
Oh my
yeah, at
God.
one point I was like, well, maybe this was a mistake having her take
Yeah,
me.
if you're like, I can't even tell her to shut up. I
Yeah,
just like am
have
physically helpless right now.
I can't even have a few minutes of like acknowledgement that something's happening to me.
Your ear was being assaulted in addition to your
Well, and
throat.
I was afraid too because they were starting talking to me about maybe surgery as well, like maybe emergency surgery. And I was just afraid. I've never had surgery before, and all I could think about was the pain is afterwards. But even during, even though I know I'm going to be sedated, I was like, man, this is going to hurt so much because I can't even open my mouth. So I was afraid, you know. And so finally, they wheel me to another room, my room. And I'm like, am I going to get morphine or what? And finally, they're like, okay, we can give you morphine. Or I didn't know I was going to get morphine. They mentioned we're going to give you morphine. And then I'm like, okay, when's that puppy coming? Because I need it. Like, I was like, oh, I've never had morphine before. This is going to be
I'm
a first
excited.
time.
I hear this stuff's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. So they gave me some morphine finally. I mean, finally. And I was just like, wow, this is good. This is good stuff. But then I started to feel my body wanting to react to it. I wanted to vomit. And they're like, well, we're still waiting for the doctor's okay to give you an anti-vomit medicine. And I'm like, dude, you need to give me something now. Because if I throw up, that throw up's not coming out or this thing's going to burst. And I was just like, please. So finally they gave that to me and I was finally able to relax and I was finally able to fall asleep. And I guess they had to give me oxygen. And by the time they started giving me oxygen and my body started to relax, I started to kind of twitch a lot. And that was the moment my mom actually paused and she's like, are you okay?
She stopped talking about herself for like long enough to notice that you might be severely ill.
Yeah. She was just like, oh, this might be serious. Are you okay,
Well,
Kathy?
thank God she ate that salad.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was
So
really,
that she could, withstand your illness. Because, wow.
I was in a lot of pain and I was so tired that I really just didn't care at the time. I actually was more bothered when I was in the hospital. I stayed for 2 days, 2 nights, I think. It was one evening when a guy that I was kind of just seeing at the time, he came to see me, and my mom happened to arrive as well. And then again, with him there, she started telling me about all her problems with her husband and the way his kids treat her. And then she just starts to sob. And I was just looking at her and I was like, I'm actually just really tired.
Like, please leave.
And she left. And then the guy I was seeing at the time, he was like, wow. And I was like, I know. She can't even just like let me have this moment.
Yeah, it makes me think of that scene in The Bear when the daughter is having a baby and her mom shows up, and it's just like, wow.
Yeah, I really resonated with it. The Bear, it's a great show if you ever want to see like narcissistic abuse and trauma in the family.
Family patterns.
Family patterns and like how you react as an adult if you don't take care of this like stuff. So after that, after that, I just not even purposefully started to pull away from my mom. I just was like, I can't be around you. And no surprise, she didn't even try
Yeah.
to resolve anything or to
She didn't want to address any
to address
the issues.
or to be in my life. And that's been 4 years now. So anyways, I just kind of told a little bit of just here and there, a few pieces of that with my physical therapist this morning. And he was just so quiet. And I was just like, oh, I'm sorry. Is this too heavy? He's like, oh, no, it's fine. It's just a Monday morning.
See, he was feeling it too. It's a Monday.
And I was like, I don't want to hold back anymore and share who I am, what necessarily, like what I've been through, but who my family is too. This is just a part of my life. And I'm like, I'm not trying to tell you these things to make you uncomfortable, but you asked me about my parents and I'm going to tell you who they really are. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. So-
Yeah, I think that was such a pattern in our society for so long to it's like, well, don't speak ill of anyone. Don't, you don't want to leave the skeletons in the closet, right? That's not for polite society or for everyday company. And there's certainly a time and a place,
Absolutely.
know?
Yeah. I'm not going to start telling him about the things that my dad did to me as a child or, the molestation that happened to me as a kid because, that doesn't feel appropriate.
Well, I think it would depend, right? I mean, physical therapy is probably one of the more appropriate places.
Well, when we have done, because I've also needed hip work and also, what's the work? The other one that we've done.
Shoulder, back, hips, what? Oh, yeah, pelvic floor.
I'm like, why can I not think of that word right now?
I know.
Pelvic
I'm
floor.
like vagina. No, that's not the right word. Pelvic floor work. They
Yeah.
have a prettier term.
Yeah, pelvic floor. I was like, what is it? See, this is called brain fog. Anybody? Have you suffered from brain fog?
Yeah, it's very painful as you go through, middle-aged as a woman and you kind of lose some of those cognitive abilities.
Well, also, I didn't know it was associated with CPTSD, which I have, and then also from the stress of the last couple of years, the adrenal fatigue I have.
Yeah.
Brain fog's like a really big indicator.
So it's all wrapped up together with the trauma.
Yeah.
And people who've been through very deep trauma. And that's, I think, the other part that's so frustrating is not only are you, physically falling apart if you've been through really intense trauma, your body kind of acts like it's been through a war zone. Mentally, the brain is kind of shutting down as well because they've shown through brain scans that the trauma that occurs to the brain from going through emotional, psychological abuse, very stressful situations, it can be picked up and it is the same as having a traumatic brain injury. And so you have to heal your brain. Like you are sort of mentally handicapped for a while. And
yeah, it's a for real thing. Like last year, it was at the worst I've ever had it. I couldn't even remember. I mean, I stopped talking to people because I just sounded stupid all the time.
I went from being an avid reader to I actually couldn't read. My brain could not focus on the words and form the images from reading. And so I kind of took a break from reading. It was only maybe last fall that I found I could read again and find it pleasurable.
Yeah, it took me about 2 months to read a book last fall, but I forced myself. One of the ways I was trying to help heal my brain, was watching movies with subtitles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it really helped me. But apparently it really annoys some people. I was kind of seeing a guy last year, and he never liked watching TV, but one day he allowed me to. And we watched maybe 5 minutes of it because he realized I had subtitles on, and he's like, I will walk out of the room if there's subtitles on a show. And then to continue after that, he just wouldn't shut up and let me watch the show. So finally I just turned it off. I was like, well, thanks for letting me watch a show.
Oh my gosh. I was going to say, just let him walk out of the room and just keep watching it, and then he can have his temper tantrum in the other room.
Well, I was so tired that I was like, God, I don't even want to deal with a man's temper tantrum. So I'll just turn it off. But it didn't last long. I think I broke up with him like 2 weeks after that. So
yeah. Crossword puzzles really helped me. And so did playing things like solitaire, and I found different games that I could download for free. And instead of reading at night, because that wasn't working, I started doing those games to try to get my brain to form these connections.
Yeah. I know. It's so funny because my daughter who's 13, I guess I stop mid-sentence a lot, and she'll be like, hello, mother,
Yep.
mother, are you going to finish that sentence or not? And I'm like, oh, what? And she got
Yeah.
to the point where she was just kind of giving me a really hard time about it, which is fine. She's a kid. And I was just like, look, honey, my brain is damaged right now. Like, this is mom brain. This is stress brain. I literally am trying to finish my sentences, but then flutter somewhere else.
Yeah, I had the same thing, and dates and scheduling and keeping like a calendar organized was really hard for my brain too. And I would just completely forget what day it was all the time. You know, like majorly think it's a Saturday and it's like a Tuesday. And it was just really a struggle. It's hard to describe, like feeling betrayed by your own brain. You're like, I know I'm not a dumb person, but maybe we are now. Maybe this is just who we are now.
Well, I mean, I have to say, I really...
Give me my walker and lead me around.
It really helped me to understand what's to come.
Yeah.
Aging is a serious thing, but what bothered me was like, I should not be going through this already. Like, I am 40, I am 41, I'm 42.
It's a little premature.
I was like, my brain is shutting down. So yeah, brain fog. So
Well, I found it so validating to see the doctors actually have done brain scans on people with PTSD, and they're like, yeah, no, they have the equivalence of a traumatic brain injury. And, you know, if someone like falls off a building and lands on their head, there are all sorts of programs for that person, like assistance.
I know. People actually take you serious.
Yeah, people are like, wow, that's crazy, you know, but if you're just like, no, I just went through a very, you know, emotionally intense experience and had an abusive spouse, people are like, oh, well, good for you for leaving. Yeah. And that's pretty much as much as you get.
That's all you get.
Or you get, why did you stay so long? Or you get criticism and judgment, like, well, what's wrong with you that you were with that psycho person? Like, you really didn't get your shit together. You're like, I'm trying. I just don't know what day it is or where I am or who you are anymore.
Oh, well, the thing is like when you're with someone who's really toxic like that and dangerous, it's not just been an overnight thing. They worked on you for years.
It is a boiling the frog situation. And they purposefully choose people that will be more receptive to their abuse. They choose you because you have insecurities, or they find the insecurities and they kind of like figure out how to work you. So they audition you before they sink in their hooks.
This is why a lot of narcissists end up getting an empath, like someone they say that is more highly sensitive or empathic, because they are a lot easier to manipulate.
Well, I think, I don't know. I think that there's a lot to be said around that, because I feel like the word empath has been so misused and so so is narcissist. But
both words have been overly used, but I know you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, that's why I wanted to clarify. I think that really what's happening more than the empath idea, although that certainly does have overlap, is they find people who have poor boundaries. They find people that are easily, their sympathies are easily played upon.
People pleasers too.
People pleasers, people who will make excuses for them and be like, oh, but he had a really hard childhood, or, you know, like his dad left when he was 10. And so they find people that have low boundaries, especially in regards to themselves, and are easily, like, their emotions are easily played upon, which I don't think necessarily fits with what I think of as an empath, because you can be an empath and have great boundaries. You can be an empath and see people pretty clearly.
I really like the version that you're saying, so we'll stick with yours.
But I feel like the empath thing, I don't know, people have started using it as this way to almost like make themselves this heroic victim.
Well, yeah, I've seen that
what I mean?
too. Well, yeah, they're using the words, and we've both talked about how much we hate
Your mother calls herself an empath.
Oh, that's true.
The woman who talked about herself nonstop while you were almost dead on a hospital bed.
Oh, that's so true. I forgot about that. Thank you for pointing that out. Okay.
Do you know she's an empath?
You know, she just has a really hard time doing certain things because she's an empath.
Yes.
That's right. I forgot about that. Oh, that's such a good point. So this is a perfect example.
So I'm like, let's clarify that word.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
What do we really mean? Yeah, like you can have empathy. You can have a lot of empathy for people and tell them no.
Yeah. You can. And
And be like, I'm sorry that your dad abandoned you when you were 10, but it is not okay for you to talk to me like that.
yeah, try telling a grown man
Period.
that.
It is not okay for you to dictate how I watch my television show and threaten to walk out of the room. It's not okay.
It's just not okay. Yeah, I have really loved having boundaries as an adult. It's been pretty awesome. I've loved learning how to have boundaries and how to stand up for myself, and then to see the person on the other end react. And I'm like, oh, ha, ha, ha,
Right.
they are a toxic person. Okay, maybe I shouldn't even use the toxic person. They are reacting in the way a unhealthy person,
Toddler.
a toddler, an immature man would act. Someone that's not taking care of his emotions.
I mean, and it works with women too.
Women
as
too,
you've
yeah.
found with your mother.
Yeah.
And I've found too, because I kind of had a blind spot for toxic women for so long because they do it differently. They do it in a much more passive aggressive way. Men
do.
tend to be more directly aggressive.
Yeah, well, they've been given the privilege for centuries.
They're allowed to be angry, and that makes them masculine
And this is
and
just-
assertive.
Yeah, this is just how men are. And should be taking care of their needs.
It's not even just how they are. They're celebrated for it. This is because they are protectors and they are warriors and they are assertive.
Yeah, well,
Where women aren't allowed to do that.
no, not at all. And that, yeah.
At least not, in our
way that-
generation growing up, we were not allowed to do those things. You would have been called a bitch.
Yeah, or, just a naughty little girl.
Sassy.
Or too emotional, sassy. I got sassy a lot. when I was
Bossy. She's being bossy. She's being sassy. Yeah. And so women tend to be a lot more passive aggressive with their stuff. But in some ways, it's worse.
little. It is.
A man will physically hurt you. A woman will make you physically hurt yourself.
She will sit there and think about how she can get everyone in the tribe to turn against you and kind of destroy you from the inside. It's really brutal. And I know this from personal experience because that's what my sister and sister-in-laws did to me. So
Yeah, they will purposefully exclude you in a way that makes you question yourself. Or they will kind of give the little jabs, the little passive aggressive jabs that undermine you and make you really insecure and make you feel really self-conscious.
or they act really nice and sweet when you confront them, and that's not what I meant.
Yeah, I watched a comedian clip this morning, and she was like, whose idea it was to give the Native Americans those blankets? That has woman written all over it. Those smallpox blankets, that is a woman move. Oh, look, we're your friends. Here you go. Here's this lovely, I quilted it myself.
Yeah, that's pretty dark.
A man will come in and he will stab you and throw you in the river.
Yeah.
A woman will give you a blanket covered in smallpox.
She will poison you.
Yeah. Well, women serial killers poison.
That was a pretty big thing in the 1800s, 1700s, medieval times. I mean, what else could a woman do?
Well, even nowadays, if people are being poisoned and they're looking for the killer, they're looking for a woman because that is a feminine way of killing.
Yeah.
To poison your food.
Yeah, it's not messy. You already feed them. They're going to eat the food. Bang, bang, they're dead.
Yeah. Or, if you gradually poison them over time, they have mysterious health problems and then they die. And doctors attribute it to their many mysterious health problems.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's a lot. I think it's a little harder to do that now.
I mean, that's kind of what your family member did.
Oh, yeah. But,
Okay, never mind. We won't talk about that. It's allegedly did.
yeah. That one, I'm like, I need a little bit more information to share that one. But yes, there's some, again, a woman in my family to her husband basically was giving the doctors an okay to overdrug him, so he would say
Was purposefully overdrugging her
sedated.
husband. Allegedly.
And They are now getting divorced.
Yeah, because he's pretty mad about it now that he's
is.
not, drugged out to wazoo
Yeah,
anymore.
well, he got, I guess we're talking about it. So he got help from his son actually ended up stepping up and getting all the care rights of him and got him off all the drugs. And wow, surprisingly, he's
fine.
fine.
It's almost like he didn't even need all those drugs.
Yeah, but then he did move back in with his wife, my aunt, and lo and behold, she was trying to do the same thing again to him, but she's telling everybody he has dementia and he's crazy.
Yeah.
He is not. He is well-minded. He knows what's going on, and I told him what attorney to hire. I said, go get my ex's attorney. He's better than mine. So.
Elderly abuse too.
Oh, yeah.
It's such a thing, but it's a hallmark of a woman to do the poison, to abuse the drugs, to slip something into their drink.
Yeah.
And so
It's fun.
women are abusive, but they do it different. And so it took me longer to figure it out because I'm like, oh, she's giving me blankets. She must love me. I just don't understand.
I was like, no, Jana, she's not.
Kat's like, yeah, no, that's not okay.
That's not what she's doing.
I'm like, well, I don't think she meant to put the smallpox in there. I think it was an accident.
Oh, no, she did. That was done on
But
purpose.
when I talked to her about it, she cried so much. She seemed genuinely sorry.
Yeah, she's acting.
Like, so confusing.
Yeah, I grew up in this. Mess. So
Kat's like, I was honed, I was forged in the fires of female abuse.
I can see it pretty clear. So no, that's not okay.
Yeah.
I actually told my therapist, I've been seeing her for about 2-3 years now. And the last time I saw her, I told her about my aunt and uncle. It's something I hadn't told her yet because I'm like, God, there's just so much sometimes with my family. And I'm like, I feel like I need to fill you in with this because it kind of involves my ex-husband as well. And so I was telling her, and she just looked at me. She sometimes just has this blank look on her face of shock. And she's like, wow, your family is like a soap opera.
It is. Not even just any old soap opera. It is a Latino soap opera.
Yeah, and like just betrayal and murder and just abuse. And I was like, well, thank you for your validation. I mean,
I didn't think it was okay.
I've always felt like I didn't like it.
I didn't think that you should try to poison someone, but maybe I'm overreacting.
Yeah.
So
But thank you. I mean, one of the main reasons I started going to therapy is because I felt like I was crazy because of how much they were twisting everything around and gaslighting and creating me to be the scapegoat. I know all these terms now because of therapy. And she was like, oh no, this is abuse. This is pretty traumatic abuse, what they're doing to you. And I'm like, I thought so.
it's not okay.
It's not okay. Just having someone I don't know and doesn't know my story, doesn't know my family, and then they say, this is not okay, was like,
So then, when someone casually asks you, oh, does your mom live around here? You're just like, well, where do you even start?
I don't know how to explain my mom. She's a victim.
I know. It's like this whole, just send him this podcast episode.
Yeah.
It's like, well, and people always want to, minimize and kind of like act like you're overreacting, especially when you look the way we do, because we kind of look like, how do you say it? Innocent, young things.
We look younger than our age, and I don't know. I guess
kind of like fair-skinned, fair-haired, and it's this kind of like, oh, you're just you're just a whiny woman.
We don't look like we've had the experience we've had, and I'm like,
yeah, it's like when I
have.
have talked about, my ex when it's come up, and they're like, well, what do you really mean by abuse? And I'm just like, well. You just strangling you by your neck count? It's like,
yeah.
What do I have to do to justify this language?
One of the things that helped us to connect was she started telling me stories of her ex-husband. I'm like, wow, that really sounds like my dad. That really sounds like
this is my childhood.
And then like I've seen how her children are from that abuse, and it like takes me back to my childhood. And I don't know, it's just been so, like I said before, like moving into your basement, like just being your friend has been so empowering because it's been validating my childhood, and I'm kind of hoping vice versa. Like,
Yeah. No, it has.
I'm like, no, that was not okay.
Well, and getting in a relationship with a healthy man really helped me too, where I was like, maybe men can not act like toddlers all the time. And maybe you can, bring up a concern with your partner and not be afraid of glasses being thrown at the wall or
being attacked,
spit flying in your face because they're screaming 1 inch away from you, or holes being punched in the wall.
Afraid they're going to break something.
Yeah. And because abuse is hidden, because it is covered up,
especially around here where we live.
You kind of, it is it starts to do things to your mind where you do think, am I the crazy one? Or maybe this is normal. Maybe all relationships are like this behind closed doors, because we looked perfectly functional and normal in society unless you knew the red flags of abuse. And so, then it's, you come out the other side and you start to try to, like, with your damaged brain, sort through the rubble. And make sense of all of it. And then, you're in physical therapy and they go, oh, do your ex and you have a good relationship? And you're just like, well, no, we don't.
No,
and that's not my fault.
No. Yeah, I mean, I've shared a little bit of the stories because I'm like, God, you're working on my body, and it's like I feel like I want to talk. I'm tired of not talking about what I've been through and what I still
one of the
go through.
things that happen in abuse is you're not allowed to talk about the abuse. That's like the biggest thing, is you're not allowed to tell anyone this is happening.
Well, and a lot of people don't even want to listen. They are, I mean, just what I went through last year with like losing my home and how uncomfortable I made people. With the fact that I'm like, well, I might be going homeless. And I tell them that, and they're just looking at me like deer in headlights. And they're like, oh.
They're not used to this happening in their white middle class world.
And then next thing I know, I'm not really seeing that person anymore.
Yeah.
It's the same way with like trying to talk about
rather
abuse.
than, maybe give you a bigger tip, they just stop coming. They're like, well, that was a lot. Maybe let's not watch that ship sink. So, people don't want to hear the abuse stories.
Well, but abuse is just going to keep happening.
But I think that's another reason they minimize it when you talk about it, too. Like I was saying with my ex, and they're like, what? You don't know, abuse? Oh, like, what do you mean abuse? Like he got mad one time because you were being a bitch? No, that's
not what happened.
That's not what we're talking about. I mean, I'm almost glad he physically abused me because it's easier to justify to people that it was abusive. But the emotional, psychological part was much more damaging.
Oh, man, it just stays with you for almost forever. Like, I'm still always working through. Am I
still
safe?
Rebuilding.
It's really hard for me to be around men sometimes. I mean, I have to tell myself, it's okay. You're safe to talk to them. They're not going to attack you. And if they start to attack you, or, an attack, I even mean like verbally, you can just walk away. So it's like finding these ways to empower yourself. Like you are your own guardian and protector now, and you can do it. You can like say no. And God, it feels so good.
Yeah, but it's hard to sort of get people to like even communicate it, right? Because nobody wants to talk about it. Mm-hmm. When you do talk about it, people look away or they minimize it. And so if you, free woman, are going through something that's really draining your energy, that's really making you feel small, that's making you feel insecure, that's making you doubt yourself, that even feels unsafe at times, it's easy for you to maybe minimize it because the rest of the world does.
Yeah, everyone around you does. I would say my number one advice is find a therapist that is safe for you to talk to, because when I finally started doing that, well, one, I had an amazing friend that also helped me to realize.
You have us.
Yeah, made me realize that I wasn't wrong and that I'm not crazy. But having a therapist that doesn't know me and doesn't know my family to validate those things and help to go within myself, to heal parts of myself, to find that strength to say, this is not okay. And you will definitely ruffle feathers when you start doing that. You may lose your entire family like I did.
Yeah.
But you know what? I felt the peace come in there is almost like this empowerment inside you when you are taking care of you. Something that I was robbed of for a long, long time. It's like for the first time in my life, I feel like I'm starting to know who I am,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool.
Yeah. The only way you can find yourself is by going on that journey. That's just the only way. I mean, you can't have someone else tell you who you are. You can't read about who you are. You can't fantasize and have anything tangible. You have to go through things and make choices based on what you want. And then you find out who you are.
Yeah, and you'll find out how much stronger you are than maybe you've realized. That it's there. I think it's not an easy journey, but it's definitely worth it.
You have to honor that voice inside of you that says, I don't like this, or this doesn't feel good, or I don't feel safe, or every time I'm around this person, I feel bad about myself. You have to honor that in order to discover you, right?
Yeah, and you have to make that choice. You have to decide you want to do it, because everyone around you can keep telling you that this person, your partner, whatever, is like a toxic piece of shit and they can't stand watching the way they treat you, but it will never change until you make the choice to walk away.
You're the only one that can do that. And that's like the shittiest part of all of it.
It is
that it's literally only you that can do it, and that can finally say, I've had enough. I'm not going to accept the blanket anymore. It's a soft, lovely blanket that you maybe made with this lovely fabric, but it has smallpox all over it, and I am tired of it. I am tired of feeling this way.
I always tell Jana, the hardest part of all of it is choosing yourself. The hardest thing I've ever had to do is choosing me and loving myself enough to walk away. Because when you do that, you have to walk away from parts of yourself that just don't work anymore. And it is like, it's a death. It's like you're losing parts of yourself that did work before.
The parts of the person you became to earn love
Perfect.
has to die.
And
Like die.
die.
Wee.
You gotta let it go.
Yeah, and that person's gonna struggle because they don't want to die.
Then they don't. Nope, they're very comfortable.
It can get a little morbid.
Yeah.
You're kind of like choking that person. You're like, no,
You gotta go.
we're
You
not
gotta die.
gonna do that anymore. No.
I remember.
Get back in your coffin.
You're done. There's been times when I've like been in that situation and I'm just so annoyed and angry, and I'm like, I know what I need to do. Just leave me alone for a while.
I know that feeling too. I've had that a few times where it just hits you really hard, this truth of like, you've been here before. Are you going to play this game again? Or are you going to end the toxic cycle now?
I do have to say it's getting easier the more you do it.
But it still is annoying every time.
It is.
It's like, God damn, I'm here again. I'm here
I know.
again. And I have to go no contact, or I have to block this person, or I have to say the really hard thing that I don't want to say. That's
so uncomfortable.
That I know is going to make them unhappy to hear, because I just love to make people happy, and now I have to be the bad guy.
I know. Well, I feel like I have to practice that every week with my ex-husband.
Just get back in the damn coffin. Just stop it.
No.
Stop people pleasing.
Stand up for yourself. Say the hard thing.
Yeah, but it's also been so healing for my confidence too,
It
where
has.
I'm like, maybe I do matter as a human.
I know, and I love it when it's like, I love when we're like around and we're kind of helping each other, and like, wow, good job, you just did it.
Kat, did you know that maybe I do matter as a human? Because this was like a crazy moment breakthrough for me, and you're just like, well, yeah.
Yeah, you
And
just
then later on, you're like, did you know I mattered at a person, Jana? And I'm like, see, it's hard.
yeah, it is hard, but you know what? It helps to have a community. It helps to have a friend. It helps to have the free woman community.
Hello. If we're here, there's two of us.
There's two of us. Yeah, there's got to be more.
And if you're here, that makes three. And sometimes the cat cat is here too. So
yeah.
like, if we're gonna count our furry friends, then we'll count them too.
Yeah, not this cat, not me cat, meow meow. It's the
furry,
physical furry cat that
furry
shows
meow
up.
meow cat. She comes through sometimes too. So
But yes, you matter, and you have to make the choice to love yourself.
you have to decide you matter. You have to. We can tell you all day long. I mean, Kat can tell me every day. She's like, you don't deserve that, Jana. But if I keep accepting it,
Yeah, and
nothing's
then,
going to change.
And when she does, I'm like, yes, good job, woohoo! She did it.
Like, thanks, that was really hard.
I know, it's really hard.
It is. It's really hard. And we get it. We get that it's really hard. But you have to decide that you matter enough to not take that blanket full of disease anymore.
Yeah, and you know what?
That is not love. They do not love you.
That is not love. That's abuse.
That is abuse.
They're trying to kill you.
I don't care how soft and cuddly it is.
No, it is not a safe blanket.
It's not safe.
Man, that is a miserable death.
Yeah. And if you stay in these situations that do not honor you for long enough, then you will end up like Kat.
Thank you.
To be fair, me too.
Yeah.
But the body will just start breaking.
It does.
And
the body's telling you. The body is a communicator to what's inside us.
Yeah.
I'm timid on using the word soul, but I mean, like, that's
energy, spirit,
emotion. Our body is our communicator of what's going on, and eventually we're going to conform to what we're allowing to happen in our life with the abuse, the mental abuse. Your body takes form to it. Your body cannot flow. It cannot be in balance. And then you start to form dysfunction and disease. And I think that's why we see a lot of sick people now as well. I mean, we both were really sick because of what we went through.
We've bonded through that too, because we've both had so much illness these past few years, and it's just nice to have another sick person to commiserate with.
Someone you can just fart on the couch with.
Like, oh yeah, I get it.
Like, I'm sorry, that one might stink.
No, it's okay. I just thought it was the dog.
Yeah, I just feel like I should be honest and let you know.
You don't have to confess every time, Pat.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the honest, kind person in me that feels like I have to.
Even if you're not, an empath like Kat's mom, this could be really hard for you.
Yeah. Oh, man.
And we will be here every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday.
We will be here.
Yeah, we will.
Just whether we're depressed or whatnot.
Or we have no space in our house to film this. We'll be in the car.
Our brains aren't working and we just might stare blankly for minutes.
Yeah, that might happen too. I'm so sorry for those days because, man, it is just, sometimes it's so rough.
Yeah, if you see like a major glitch in the audio or the video, it's because we just spaced out for several minutes and we had to edit that shit.
But overall, regardless
of the quality of the content,
we are going to be here. We have shown up for ourselves. Now we are showing up for you.
Amen.
Remember to like and subscribe.